light in an otherwise dark year. My thanks go out to all the wonderful people at Supergiant for creating such an incredible game. And now, Jason2890 and his friends Cuphead and Mugman in Don't Deal with the Devil.
Hello everyone, my name is Jason2890. I'm going to be playing Cuphead for you all this evening. For those of you not familiar with the game, Cuphead is an indie game released a few years ago by an indie company called Studio NBHR. It's got a wonderful 1930s art style and an amazing soundtrack. It's a lot of fun, quick, action-paced. We're going to be playing the All Bosses, No Major Glitches category, which means for those of you familiar with Cuphead speedrunning, we're playing on the most recent version of the game. There's no weapon swap glitch, none of the major glitches. There are a few minor time saves that we'll be going through and minor glitches, but we'll get into that in a moment. Joining me on commentary is Grondious.
Hello, everyone.
And SBDWolf.
That will be me. Hey there.
You guys may know them from their critically acclaimed Draken runs, but they are also certified Cuphead pros and masters of other games as well. So that being said, we're about to get started. How did the character selection incentive wind up?
Well, your save files don't have to go anywhere because Mugman stayed ahead all day long. $1,373 to $285. So we will be playing as Mugman.
All right, Mugman, the true hero of the game, in my opinion. Anyway, we're about to get started, so let's give a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. So, basic background of the story, we're skipping a lot of stuff in the beginning. Cuphead and Mugman wandered across the railroad tracks into the Devil's Casino and gambled away their souls. Classic story, right? So now the Devil has sent them to collect the soul contracts of the residents of Inkwell Isle in order to repay their debt. That guy we just talked to there is Elder Kell, is the parental figure to Cuphead and Mugman, gives us a potion, tells us not to trust the Devil, and we are off.
And coming up here is the apple. His name is Mac. It is confirmed that it has nothing to do with the fact he's a Macintosh apple, but he's going to hook us up with 3 coins there. Jason's going to be going into the first run and gun, Forest Follies. Now, the reason we're going into this level, even though this is all bosses and not all flags, which does all 6 run and guns, we're just doing this one to pick up 5 extra coins. That combined with the 3 the apple gave us, or Mac, I should say, is going to put us up to 8, and we're going to be able to buy 2 weapons that is going to tremendously increase how fast we can go through this game. Coming up on here on the old acorn machine, you might have seen people dash under this thing, clip under. That is patched out in this version. So there's a lot of the glitches like that you just can't go for in this version.
Oof, and we are out of the woods already.
Yeah, and coming up, we're going to be stopping by Pork Rind's shop. Going to be picking up the spread and lobber weapons. The spread shot being this red close-range weapon. It's the highest DPS weapon in the game with very powerful EX. And the lobber weapon, which is more of a utility weapon. We're going to be going over some like lobber trap tech and stuff like that later on. It's also has a very good EX move.
We're going to quickly equip stuff here while Pork Rind's telling us how to do things, and we're going to go enter the first boss, the Root Pack, right here.
Yeah, first boss of the run. This one, you just mold down the potato. It's got on 3 phases. You have a potato, an onion, and a carrot. You just mold down the potato with the spread shot. But once we get to the onion phase, most people will normally shoot down the onion as well, maybe with the help of another trap. But Jason is just not attacking it, just sort of ignoring it.
Hey, we're supposed to be... Okay, there we go.
But what this does, actually, this is relatively new introduction to the run or to the game. And it's these secret phases right here. This one is triggered by pacifying the onion, not shooting it. It skips the phase at the cost of making this phase a little bit harder, but also a little bit faster. So really convenient for us speedrunners. And that's
although most runners don't go for that secret phase, I guess you could say they don't care at all about that.
I will say Jason is a certified dad, so he's allowed to make these fun.
I got the birth certificates to prove it. I got a couple kids at home. But yeah, we're going to head into the next boss here, Ribby and Croaks. And this fight is kind of random. You could say it's totally up to RNG at times. We'll see how I handle it here.
Yeah, and you might notice their outfits here is very much inspired from Ryu and Ken from the Street Fighter series. There'll be some other Street Fighter references later on in the fight. Coming up here, you'll notice Jason's playing it really close up to these amphibious brawlers because he is trying to hit both of them with this weapon. That's why they were both flashing earlier. He did get the super skip. That is extremely hard to do on the fly's first attack. That happens because he did so much damage from going into that double damage spot where he's hitting both frogs that he actually killed phase 2 before it ever even happened. That's how much damage he was doing there. And now going into the slot machine, you might notice the spikes around those platforms down there. I really found out recently that those are actually inspired from Chun-Li's wristbands as well. So all the Street Fighter references in this fight. And Jason's going to be cleaning up this crazy slot machine here momentarily.
That was totally awesome. Nice job, though.
Thank you, Wolf. Now, coming up on the next boss, we're going to be heading up a little bit on the map to the forest to fight Goopy Legrand, or Goopy Legrande Grand. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he is this big blue slime. We'll see him in just a moment.
Yeah, clearly inspired from the Dragon Quest lines, as you'll see in a second. So for this boss, so it just bounces around. The thing that separates the top runners from the good runners is just tracking. As you can see, like Jason is barely missing any spread bullets, and it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, tracking this is really difficult. That's a big part about speedrunning Cuphead. It's just trying to miss as few bullets as possible, even on these bosses that are kind of just all over the screen. And while also trying to not die, of course.
Yeah, and...
Speaking of that, I went for a pretty tough quick kill right there. And damage boosted slightly too early. No big deal, though. The short fight.
It's okay. This is like one of the fastest bosses in the game, so this is the perfect fight to get the nerves off and take a death. Only about a 30-second loss there. No big deal. Kind of funny because it was his graves coming down that... yeah.
I did it for the cinematics.
Took you out as well. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So while he's a grave there he's still alive. As you can see earlier, he can still kill you, even though he's already a gravestone. But Jason cleans up
in
there.
the nick of slime right there.
I can't believe you're killing that boss and then just vandalizing its grave.
I know, it seems a little poor taste, right?
Lets you wonder who the real villain of this story is.
All right, coming up here, we're going to go to the first of five plane levels. Yes, 5 plane levels. This is a little tutorial telling us how to shoot the planes. It's going to be a little bit different than the normal boss fights here, but you'll see in just a moment what I'm talking about here. We're going to fight Hildeberg.
Yeah, and one thing on this fight that kind of, separates like newer runners from like very experienced runners like Jason is not only, again, dodging all of these projectiles and stuff, but also just not missing bullets. You can see there too, Jason's taking a damage boost, so he gets really good positioning when Hilda goes back to her spot, so that he can get this EX move that kind of travels through her. It gets like a lot of damage in as it kind of ticks through. You'll see it again right here. He's going to be going for another one of those. Look at all those juicy ticks of damage. And Jason's actually already going to be almost done with this phase, going into a pretty scary last phase. He can dodge all this stuff. There's actually a projectile that was hidden behind that tornado. These are some of the things that you got to watch out for. And she's just going to turn into a moon. There's a lot of just crazy transitions in this game that really make it stand out.
Yeah, needless to say, the animation is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, Hilda has a few acne scars on her nose. I heard that in high school she had some pimples.
I wasn't ready for that one.
Okay. Those of you watching at home, if my puns make you cringe or if they make you smile, whatever they do, donate $5. Start a donation train going, We're here to prevent cancer.
Absolutely.
We're heading to the final boss of Aisle 1 here, Cagney Carnation, one of my favorites. Big flower guy. Got a plushie of him right back there, actually. Here he is.
And speaking of his sweet dance moves here, the name actually comes from James Cagney, who did some notable dances back in the early to mid 1900s. Jason gonna be hoping to not see the seeds attack here, which so far he hasn't seen it. We'll see, though. I think there's still one more chance here. And he gets the C's. Unfortunate. This is the attack you always dread to see. So it puts a bunch of annoying crap on the screen you got to deal with and takes forever. But actually, that was not that bad. That can be a lot more annoying. Jason might be going for some insane damage boost strats here.
Yeah.
And he takes Cagney down.
We had to put the pedal to the metal right there.
Yeah,
But,
now would be a good time for a donation or two.
Yeah, that closed
as
out
we
aisle one, so
transition
we
out
have
to-
maybe 30
Just to
seconds or
either
so.
save us from these puns or just to read off some more.
My pleasure. We've got $250 from Danny B. For Grandpa, who would have a better fight against cancer if early detection was more readily available. Sending love to AGDQ and everyone watching. Let's go.
All right, we're going to be heading into Bon Bon here. There is going to be a lot of different mini bosses that we can get. There's actually 5 of them, but we'll only have to take 3 of them out. You kind of get, it just chooses us 3 at random and in a random order as well. So you have to react to what comes out of this castle. And one cool thing is after Jason clears out this this initial candy corn, I want to talk about lobber traps. This is one of the reasons the lobber weapon is so powerful. You'll see Jason jumping here and getting a bunch of lobbers set up so that as the mini boss comes in, he just gets this barrage of lobbers that allows you to make such quick work of bosses.
Yeah, this is one of the main things that makes the lobber so good. It's actually like one of the things that has the most damage in. We're gonna see another lobber trap here at the end, and this final phase should go down relatively quickly. There's actually another route, another potential route that is pretty close in time to this one, where you don't do the running gun at the start, and you just do the entire game with the pea shooter and the spread. You get the extra coin from the tutorial. And yeah, the bosses are overall slower, but not doing the running gun ends up being ends up it being about the same speed.
All right, and then coming up, we're going to go to the second plane boss right here. But first, we're going to talk to this guy. He's going to give us a second weapon for the plane levels, the mini bomb, which will definitely come in handy. It's not quite the same. It's slightly lower DPS than the main bomb, but it lets you lob them out, kind of like our lobber shot. And it has some niche uses for sure.
Yeah, coming up here is Wally. This is a pretty difficult fight. You may also notice his eggs there are very inspired from Yoshi's eggs from Mario. And Jason's going to be getting up close and personal. Just, you know, there's just a million feathers everywhere. We'll just dodge him point blank because why not?
You got to play pretty impeccably here.
Jason's going to be getting up super close using the Mini Bomb EX, which is a close range move. It sends out a barrage of shots that try to home in, and some of them usually miss. But if you're point blank, you can't miss. You know, everything goes right in. Like a shotgun, kind of.
Tried not to get a nuke here. I got a nuke accidentally. A little bit too many cards.
It's actually one of these spots in the game where you can get the most damage out of these plane axes by default. So not having the nuke and being able to use these regular axes saves a ton of time.
Yeah.
Well, still pretty quick though.
Yeah, and just showing Jason's experience there. He knows that the boss does not have much health, so he goes into that corner that looks like you can't. There's no escape from that corner once you're in there. But he knows that he could take the boss out right before the boss takes him out.
Exactly. And coming up is one of my favorite levels, actually. We're going to fight Jimmy the Great. He's a big red genie. And that's another plane level, 2 plane levels in a row right here. And it also has a secret phase that we will be seeing here. So yeah, let's go get into this level.
Cool thing to look out for too is the background there was actually a real sculpture that was 3 feet in diameter and took them a month to make. So just some of the work that they put into this stuff, I didn't realize that they made models and all that. They really went all out for this game.
Yeah, I believe that maze in the background is actually solvable too.
Yeah, it is. The attention to detail is insane. Jason's going to be optimizing the damage because as you damage the faces here, it is damaging the boss's overall health bar. So he's going to get 5 bullets in and a mini bomb to finish it off. That's like the most damage you can get per phase. And you'll see this phase will not last long because of those optimizations. Like, it's already gone.
And coming up is the secret phase. So here, what's supposed to happen is Jimmy scans Mugman in this case, and he creates a puppet out of him. But one of the newly added secret phases is that if you shrink during it, it creates a mini puppet. And it skips the puppet phase, but it makes this phase have double the health and obviously have it be harder thanks to this puppet in the middle. It ends up being about the same speed. We speculate being about slightly faster because you get these fairies that add a bit of damage. And yeah.
And I have to just be amazed here at how Jason's handling this. There is a lot going on the screen, and he just played that like pretty much perfectly.
That's
absolutely insane.
That secret phase looks so good when it's done well. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Bet that genie wishes he didn't fight against me today. But coming up, the next boss here is another classic Cuphead boss that might be recognizable to some, Beppy the Clown. And even though he's a clown, this fight, trust me, is no joke. Yeah, there's actually a glitch you could do on this fight, which is still in the game, but it is banned from this category that actually involves doing enough damage to trap the boss in the second phase. But we're just going to go play him the old-fashioned way here.
Yeah, which is actually turns out it's pretty hard to fight this guy the normal way as well. You'll see Jason, again, going for some crazy damage boosts once the donkey comes down. Playing it pretty risky, I'm sure. So Jason's going to hope that the donkey comes on the right. He's going to set up a trap, and it goes on the left, of course.
Naturally.
But thankfully, it's the green one, which sticks around longer. So he should still be able to get a nice one cycle here. Yeah, really well done.
Nice. And we got it quick enough to avoid a second train coming. If you kill the third phase a little bit later, sometimes a second train comes, which kind of gets in the way at the beginning of this phase, but we're quick enough to avoid that this time.
Yeah, and we might not get to see him for very long because of how quick Jason's going to take this final phase out. But you might notice these little penguins here are actually inspired from Charging Chucks from Super Mario World. They throw the little baseballs and roll around.
I saw them for all of half a second there.
A few frames of a penguin there. Yeah. Get pretty excited about that.
Like, no joke, those penguins are really, really dangerous. It's just that, in a speedrun, we have spready access, we have lubber traps. That phase does not last very long. It's over before it's any threat anymore.
This next boss is another iconic Cuphead boss as well. One that a lot of people in casual playthrough get stuck on. Grid Matchstick, the dragon. He also is the first of 2 bosses in a row that has randomized platforms. So no 2 fights on this fight are going to be the same. There's a lot of reactionary strategy to use here.
Don't get smoked.
Yeah, this is one of those fights. Go ahead. This is one of those fights that you just have to play 1,000 times to stand a chance at there. And another cool thing, again, with the background, is that tower was a real model. They made out of construction foam. And they in their living room, they rigged up a rotating camera and green screen system to film this tower from every angle and then put that footage into the game there that we see now. Also, I want to point out, too, that the lobber weapon, this is where it really shines. Like, even in casual playthroughs, use this weapon. It's so good for this phase. Yeah. You just get such a perfect angle on him there. And it is one of the main reasons why lobber spread is superior to the piece spread route in this category. Is the pea shooter is really challenging to use on this boss well. Jason going in for some really tight damage boosts.
I didn't want that fight to drag on a bit.
Oh my goodness, that was insane.
We're closing on aisle 2 right now. We have time for another donation or 2 as we head to aisle 3.
Yes, please.
Happily, I will rescue you from the puns, or maybe send you back to them. I'm not sure which. We've got $100 from Goliath, who says, shout out to my good buddy O.M. Glenn, who made those amazing Cuphead acrylic paintings for this year's prizes. Good luck on the run, Jason2890. Donation goes towards the Golden Sun Glitch exhibition. P.S. I will donate an extra $100 if ateatree reads this next part in his 1930s reporter voice.
All right, boys. Now let's be sure to give that dastardly devil the old 1-2. And you folks at home, be sure to keep your dials tuned here to AGDQ as we all work together to give cancer a knockout.
Well done.
That was amazing.
Incredible.
So yeah, here we're going on to Rumor Honeybottoms. And I heard a rumor that in a past life she used to be a hairstylist before she became a Cuphead boss, but it didn't work out because she was only good at giving buzz cuts.
Oh my.
They're just gonna get worse, guys. Brace yourself.
Yeah, we're back to the Al3 puns. You know, this is like the backlog. It's gonna get bad. Jason though, going for some nice quick cycle here. Again, this is another fight with super random platforms. So you just have to react, and she has a bunch of different attacks, but Jason gets the 2 cycle.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Really well done there again. Strong start to Al3 here.
Thank you. The next boss is the second to last plain boss, Dr. Cal's Robot, which is another boss that is notorious for its difficulty, another boss that a lot of people tend to get stuck at. And in the Legacy version, you can actually do a glitch to destroy him in the first phase and make the fight like 15 seconds long, but we are going to play all 3 phases in its entirety right here and see how well we do.
Yeah, and you'll notice too, Jason's going to be making really good use of the mini bomb here. Once he goes down to this lower part, the explosion from it's actually hitting 2 pieces of Dr. Cal's Robot at the same time, which is going to
nuts sometimes. And bolts.
Really reaching for that again.
Yeah,
We're at the backlog of the puns.
What can I say? Trying to make stuff happen.
It's all good. Jason's about to go into a terrifying last phase. This is very scary. About to enter bullet hell, and also you might notice the this last phase here is very inspired by like Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Wily from Mega Man and Sonic series. Jason going for a nuke there, getting some parries. These parries are actually kind of predictable where they're going to be, as long as your game doesn't lag at all. And so he's kind of able to go for some kind of psychic parries, but also it's still pretty scary right now. Should be close.
All right.
Nice. There we go. That is one of the scariest fights
sure.
in any run.
That final phase is really hard to optimize too.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much every phase of that fight is pretty scary.
Oh yeah.
The next boss here isn't really talked about that much because I feel like it's not one of the more difficult bosses in the run, but I still can't afford to play around on this one. We're gonna go to Sally's stage play.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't get much of a spotlight, does it? Hey, there's also a secret phase in this fight. By the way, we're not gonna do this one though, because to trigger it, you need to stand on both these angels on the top, and you get to fight an alternate version of the fight, which doesn't really save any time unless you go for a skip, which is considered a major glitch. So we just play this out
normal fight, doing it as best as we can.
Yeah, and after Jason makes quick work of this phase, once she goes into her phase 3, this is like her powerful form. It's kind of a reference to Kefka from Final Fantasy VI, and it will not be the last reference to that game. Gonna be going for some nice damage boost because we're speedrunners. We want to go fast. We don't want to dodge things.
Health is a resource.
Yes.
All right, that was a nice, clean ending to that fight. Coming up, we are going to be facing against Werner Werman, or I guess I pronounce it Werner Vermin. He's a German mouse that we're gonna be coming up on right here. It's a really fun fight, and this could be a good time to explain like the flick back lobber shots that we do. It's another like very subtle piece of tech that we use to optimize our damage in this game. Do you want to go into that briefly, Grondious?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a ton of tech that kind of goes on to kill these bosses as quick as Jason has. We just kind of barely touched on the basics. But one of the cool things you'll see Jason going for is because Lobber has a longer cooldown, he's able to actually walk away from the boss a little bit and then flick a shot back into the boss. So, in those little gaps of the weapon's cooldown, he's able to like move back to dodge because he wants to stay up close, as much as he can to get spread in as well. So it's all these little optimizations to get the most out of your weapons.
As much as you can, you say.
I'd say this fight so far has been going pretty perfectly.
Yeah, we just squeaked by right there.
Oh no, I'm joining in. They're converting me.
Nice quick fight right here.
Okay, look at that
Big
plot
twist. The
great.
cat was inside, or the mouse was inside the cat the entire time.
The plot twists are insane in this game.
Next boss we're heading over to is a pirate, Captain Brinybeard. Actually, surprisingly, I have a joke for this one. Hey, Wolf. How much did it cost for Captain Brinybeard to pierce his ears?
How much?
A buccaneer.
Okay, so this
boy.
fight, pretty random. It's got a bunch of patterns on his gun, and later on we're gonna see a bunch of summons from this different animal. We'll see what he gets here. This is a pretty big times wing. This one is one of the easiest, the fastest. Hitting the squid early, getting it risky. So.
Strats.
So there's a mechanic in this fight where after you deal enough damage to get into the final phase, the game stops you from dealing damage until you're in this phase. So how many cycles of attacks you go through actually matters. And this final phase is at one cycle, shouldn't be that hard. Here we go.
Really cool thing Jason did too is while he was waiting for the ship to fully convert into a narwhal, he kind of created some distance and then got some lobbers bouncing. So as it became vulnerable, there's all these lobbers just like a barrage, perfectly bouncing into him.
Yeah, that's a really fun thing to do right there. Using your geometry. They said it wasn't going to be useful in the real world, but you just saw those lobbers, right? But coming up on Calamaria, I actually don't really have much to say about this boss, but hopefully we don't get this mermad. I'm running out of juice, guys. It's near the end of the run. Cut me a little bit of slack.
Would you like some donations?
Sure.
All right, it is clearly pun 30 because we have an avalanche of $5 donations appreciating your punitude. I'm going to speed run them as fast as I can. Scumby sends $5 to a head off a couple of puns. $5 from Handsome Mr. B. These Cuphead puns are wonderful. Here's $5 to keep them coming. Callan Zombie with $5. These jokes are a real punishment. Chris with $5. Jason said to donate if the puns make us smile. He's got it. Keep up the puns. Let's prevent cancer. And Nerdwire with $5 as a certified dad as well. I can dig these dad jokes.
Nice. Thank you, everyone.
I have to say this run so far has been a ton of fun. Just like holy mackerel. And Jason's play here is just absolutely efficient. I've definitely been enjoying this a lot.
I wasn't sure if you were using mackerel as a pun there, but then once you got the dolphinitely in there, it just solidified it for me.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
He was doing it on purpose.
Oh, man.
All right, we have
Coming
the
up is one of
last
the
boss of
scariest
Aisle 3
bosses.
coming up here. Probably inspired by the Doom Train from Final Fantasy VI. And luckily, this is actually a very tough boss, but I have been training this boss all week, so we'll see how I fare here.
Now, unfortunately, unlike in Final Fantasy VI, we can't just suplex this train and be done with it. Instead, we get an extremely challenging boss fight that is known to kill many runs due to its exceptional difficulty. Coming up, Jason's going to be actually going for a one cycle on the skeleton. This is one of the hardest tricks in the run.
Yeah.
He's going to be getting that parry brick, setting up a really good lobber trap there, and going for 5 EXs. Oh, misses one. Going to be barely off on getting it. That's okay. That is one of the hardest tricks for sure. He's going to be getting a nice quick 2 cycle still. Coming up, too, is a very complex fight to strategize how to go up against. She will be having 2 twins here. And it's random which one starts their lightning attack first, so you have to have a battle plan for both. That was a perfect twins, though.
Keeping this ghost alive, this is a very minor optimization. You can delay the killing of this ghost so that you get this parry, get higher up, and you get a slightly more optimal lobber trap there. You get like maybe 1 extra shot in. And this
really nice ghost wrangling there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a relatively new strat for this game. Because normally if you just jump up and shoot lobbers up to just try to make a trap there, you can only get maybe 1 to hit, and you can get up to 3 if you wrangle that ghost and keep him alive for a little bit. So we do have a little bit more time for donations before we go into the Devil's Lair over here. So if you have another 1 or 2 to read, go ahead.
Absolutely. We've got $50 from Kirthar, who says, no major glitches in Cuphead. Is that even possible? Good luck on the run, Jason. And $100 from Sandra D. Rivas, who says, I've been looking forward to this run. Cuphead is one of my favorite games. Go Mugman.
Oh my gosh, we got this RNG. Do you see this, Grondious?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so these hearts are on random spots.
The 1 in
and they're on the
27 chance for us to get
spots.
perfect RNG here. We did.
This is a 1 in 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the dream RNG right now. The marathon luck coming in strong. Basically going to be going up here against Mr. Wheezy. He's actually going to be baiting Wheezy in a direction so that he's facing kind of the wrong way, damage boosting through to the backside where he's going to be safe now to finish up the fight with really good spread damage.
Yeah, that cigar just got smoked.
But yeah, this is actually a really interesting fight in the speedrun because depending on where the hearts are, you actually do or can alter your strategy of which ones you fight. You end up having to fight 3 in total, no matter what. But Jason's going to get the optimal path here and going to be hopefully getting to display a really insane third mini boss.
With all this health. I believe this entire fight is inspired by Gunstar Heroes. There's a stage in that game that's literally called Dice Palace, and it plays out very similarly.
He's going to be getting up close here because he knows the rabbit's about to be down.
Okay, coming up is definitely the trickiest of the mini bosses here, but it is fast whenever you have a lot of health and damage boost. So we're gonna go fight against a giant roulette table, Piruletta, right here.
Yeah, this is such a cool fight when you have tons of health because you could just go absolutely crazy and damage boost through this. Instead of like doing the normal thing where you have to like parry those coins and jump over. Really nice use of the invincibility that you get when you get hit. Trying to make the most out of all of these damage boosts. Very well done.
Thank you.
Imagine saving the health for Perry last year.
Yep, that's the plan. So normally, this is actually a pretty tricky part for casual playthrough of the game, because if you haven't been brushing up on your parry skills at the end, then this part can really be a struggle, because the game intends for you to parry these cards to stay alive, to not die. So because we saved some health, we're actually going to not parry at all.
Yeah, this actually saves time because every time you get you get a parry, the screen freezes for about 1/6 of a second, and yeah, so we can avoid parrying at all and avoiding all those lag frames. On top of that, oh, we still got a parry right here.
Yeah, we got a parry from the rabbit fight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could actually skip a little bit of time on, or save a little bit of time on the result screen there as well. But nevertheless, we don't need to get into that because it didn't happen. We're going to be fighting the devil right now, or maybe we'll be giving him the contracts, right? We should just do that. He seems like a good guy. But no, everyone watching at home, just say no to the devil. We will say no to this guy. And this is a fitting end to this run, too, because the run on deck is called Hades. So make sure you guys all stick around for that.
Yeah, I just want to point out one thing, like the amount of love that went into this game is insane. This fight has almost 2,500 frames of hand-drawn animation, worked on by 7 artists and representing over a year of work hours. Like, it is insane the amount of effort that they put into this game, and it really shows. Just such an amazing game. Highly recommend this to everyone.
Can I just point out that Jason went for a dash-less, EX-less dodge on the clap? That's really
I told you guys I was going to do it.
He did. In practice, he's like, I'm going for that, and he just nailed it. That is insane.
By the way, time is going to be coming up, hopefully, if I close out this fight, whenever we see the word knockout on the screen.
Really good damage tracking on the eyeballs here. Gonna make quick work of this. Going into the last phase.
Almost here. And
time. GG.
And that is Cuphead, everyone, starring Mugman. So this is the final result screen right here. For anyone watching at home, the game that we run on our leaderboards is actually done with time without load. So I had a loadless time going. For anyone curious, the time on that was 30 minutes and 20 seconds. It was actually a pretty good time considering the death. But as for the story, we beat up the devil, we burn all the soul contracts, and we free the residents of Inkwell Isle. So everyone we just spent the last half hour beating up, we're all coming back to tell them they're all free and everything's okay now, right? So that is it. Everyone celebrates Cuphead and Mugman, and they don't get in trouble again until the next time they do, which the DLC might be coming out this year. So we'll see about that. Just as these credits start to scroll, I just want to give a couple quick shout outs. Especially, of course, I want to shout out Grondious and SBDWolf for joining me on commentary and putting up with the puns and joining in themselves. I converted you guys by the end, right? Special thanks to the GDQ staff as well for putting on an amazing show. And special thanks to the Cuphead speedrunning community also. If you guys enjoyed this run, or even if you're just, if you enjoyed this run and are trying to get into speedrunning this game, or even if you're just casually playing through the game and need some help, just join our speedrunning Discord, speedrun.com/Cuphead. Click the Discord link. Join. We'll be happy to answer any questions to get you started. We have tutorial videos and all sorts of stuff to help you out. But hope you guys all enjoyed that run. Do you guys have any last words, Grondious and Wolf?
Yeah, I just want to add that Cuphead is a very easy to learn but hard to master speedrun, so it's easy to get into, but it has a ton of depth for you to kind of get into. And thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute blast to get to commentate this, even though we had to deal with all those puns. It was okay. I let out some of my own at the end, so.
Honestly, I pretend like I cringe at the puns. But...
You like them.
We all love puns here.
We know.
I don't have anything else to add. Thank you for having me on commentary. Thank you everybody for watching. Stick around for the next runs, and yeah.
All right, we'll kick it back to ateatree. Thanks for having us, guys. Take care.
See you, everyone.
That was a real high-class bout.
In all seriousness, thank you so much, Jason2890, and your commentary crew for an amazing, Mugman run. Time for a few donations, but before we get there, I'd like to remind everyone we are looking at a third of the way towards the last stand incentive for Left 4 Dead 2. I believe in you, chat. Let us make it happen together. To that end, we've got $100 from Goliath, who says, ateatree, amazing job on that old-timey voice. Here's that extra $100 I promised you, old so-and-so. Put this run towards the incentive of your choice. Well, I think you know what that is, and thank you very much. We've also got $250 from Redbeard73, who says, gotta give for a Cuphead and Hades combo. This is for my friends Joe and Alex for beating cancer and being wonderful people. Also, I'll give another $50 if the runner pets Cerberus during the Hades. Now it's time for a couple of messages from our sponsors. The Yeti is the official merch supporter of Games Done Quick events since 2011. They've donated over $1.5 million to GDQ charities. All profits from the AGDQ 2021 collection go to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. This amazing collection is available until January 10th at midnight. So get your orders in before they're gone at theyeti.com. I don't know about anybody else, but I've already got my badge order in, so I might have to double dip and pick up a few more things. AGDQ 2021 Online is also brought to you by NIS America and R-Type Final 2. Experience R-Type's explosive return on current platforms, where the frenetic action of the original games meets contemporary visuals and modern gameplay features such as evolving enemies. Learn more and pre-order today before it arrives spring 2021. To do that, you can head to nisamerica.com/r-type-final-2. I don't know about you, chat, but I love a good shmup. Well, chat, my friends, that is all for me for now. As amazing, as hype as this block has been, I can only leave you with the promise that we are now kicking it into high gear. I think you will love what we have coming up next. I know I'm going to enjoy it watching right alongside you. I leave you in the capable hands of Dr. No. Have a wonderful day.
Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2021 online powered by Twitch. We just hit $400,000 raised for charity, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. My name is Dr. No, and it is my honor to be here as your host for this upcoming run of Hades and BPM. But before we get to the hype, we have some prizes to talk about, and we have Sent to talk about those prizes. Sent?
Thank you very much, Dr. No. It's great to be here, everyone. Again, welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick Online 2021. My name is Sent, and as usual, I'm popping up throughout the week to tell you all about some of the amazing prizes that you can win when you donate. Now, again, just as a refresher for people who might not have been here all week, you don't actually have to do anything special to be entered to win these prizes other than donate at least the minimum donation amount while they're available. The prizes I'm going to be talking about right now have been available for a little while today, but they'll continue to be available until the daily recap a little bit later tonight. Now, while you're donating, you can put those donations towards several amazing incentives we have. Incentives for file name choices, incentives for bonus games like the amazing run of Hades we're about to see, or incentives for the runners to do maybe a little bit extra in the game. You know, one of the fun parts about running in a marathon is sometimes you get to have incentives for things that you would like to do during a normal run, but maybe can't justify because they cost a little time for no benefit. And Hades is no different, because in Hades, there is a dog. And you know what? He's a good boy. He's not just a good boy. He's the best boy. Because, of course, I'm talking about Cerberus, the three-headed guard of Hades. Please stop laughing. I only had 2 dog plushes. I made do with what I had. It's fine. This is a good boy. Now, during the game, Hades, you can basically pet Cerberus at any time you want, but there's really no point to doing so in the speedrun, and he's kind of a bit out of the way. But we talked with Vareem, and we've agreed to add as an extra donation incentive for the Hades run, we just added it right now, that if we can raise $6,666 during the Hades run, we will have Vareem pet the best boy. Now, that is admittedly a lot to raise during a single run, so you know, I hope we get there, but
Hey,
you know, I'm really not.
Sent, hold up.
What's up?
About that, we have a $5,000 donation from the Supergiant Games team that says, thank you to the AGDQ community for starting the new year off right and raising money for an important cause. We were excited to see Hades on the schedule and hope to see a lightning faster performance by Vareem. Vareem and other players in our community have been honing their skills in Hades for a long time, in some cases ever since it first entered early access development. So chances are you're going to see an amazing run. Thanks to everyone who helped make this bonus run possible. We also wanted to thank our player community for their incredible support of our game. Your encouragement and feedback made Hades what it is today, and we're so glad so many of you out there have enjoyed it. May the fates grant you good RNG in the new year. So about that.
Right. Good. That's the head that bites. You gotta watch out for that one. Thank you so much to Supergiant Games for that donation. That is absolutely amazing. But we still do need a little bit more, I believe, to make that incentive happen. So let's do it. Let's make sure we pet the dog, the best boy in Hades. And while you're making those donations, let me tell you about some of the amazing prizes you'll be entered to win. Just as a heads up, a $25 donation is going to get you into every individual prize I'm about to talk about. And you need to get those donations in, again, before the end of the daily recap a little bit later today to be eligible for them. So first off, we have these beautiful Cuphead acrylic on canvas paintings from OM Glenn. They're a $15 minimum donation, and you get a full set of 3. You, of course, get Cuphead, you get Mugman, and, you know, who are they fighting right now? Who else but the devil? It's a beautiful set of 3 little acrylic on canvas paintings, $15 minimum donation for the set, and thank you so much to OM Glenn for sending it out to us. Now, from our friends over at the Yeti, we have this beautiful Cuphead ceramic mug. It's Cuphead. It's Cuphead as a functional cup. It even comes with a lovely decorative straw. You can't drink out of the straw, but it's perfectly fine for stirring your coffee or tea or whatever you would like to drink in the morning out of your very own Cuphead. $10 minimum donation for the Cuphead mug. Again, thank you so much to our friends over at the Yeti. From Dito87, we have a pair of beautiful Cuphead and Mugman Perlers. They're both about yay big or so. They are absolutely wonderful. Didn't have a great place to display them right now, but you can head over to gamesdonequick.com, check out a great picture of them. They come as a set, and they're a $10 minimum donation together. Also from Lunar Flare Design, we have a baddie plushie, just like the companion from Hades. It's absolutely adorable. $20 minimum donation. Again, unfortunately, wasn't able to get here in time due to some shipping delays, but you can head over to gamesdonequick.com. You can check out a great picture of it. Donate $20 and you could win it and have your very own baddie plushie. Absolutely adorable. Now, from my good friend Vats of Goop, we have a super cool holographic chaos print. And while unfortunately I really am not able to show it to you physically, I do have some of the artwork, and I'd just like to take a look at it real quick if you wouldn't mind panning over there. Yeah. There we go. That is just an absolute beautiful print of Chaos. I actually didn't know until I saw this print that Chaos has the world in one of his hands and the void in the other. That's one of its hands, I should say, and the void in the other. That's super, super cool. The final print itself also has a glitter finish to it. So it's got like a 90s holographic effect. It looks so cool in the glass. You can head over to gamesdonequick.com and actually check out a picture of it with that effect going on to get a better idea of what it looks like. $15 minimum donation, definitely super cool. Thank you so much to Vats of Goop for sending it out to us. Mirai Lindsay sends us not one, but two amazing sketchbooks. One of them with Zagreus' emblem, as well as some obol from Charon, you know, what you'd use to pay Charon, as well as a braid notebook with the braid dinosaur stamped on it, and some fun text that says, "I'm sorry, but your princess is in another castle." I believe one of those is a $15 minimum donation, the other is a $10, and they are both from Mirai Lindsay. Thank you so much for sending those out to us. From our good friend and fellow host Iggy Zig, we have this absolutely beautiful Mega Buster schematic poster. It's the Mega Buster, but, you know, as a schematic. I'm holding it upside down. Don't let Cent build anything. This is why we don't let Cent build anything. But it's still a super cool poster. You can see exactly how many lemons Mega Man can hold. Spoilers, it's quite a lot of lemons. From Daniel Hooker, we have a Metroid print pack here. I'm holding both of them upside down as well. That's fine. Don't worry about Cent. He's got it under control. We have Western Samus here on my right, as well as Samus kind of juxtaposed with the Varia suit and the Zero suit on my left here. Super cool prints. They come as a set, $10 minimum donation. Thank you so much, Daniel, for sending those out to us. We have so many amazing prizes. From Rachel Akers, we have a beautiful Spectre Knight tumbler. We have plenty more. You have to go to gamesdonequick.com, check out the tracker. It's going to give you all the information on upcoming prizes, like everything we've talked about, including our grand prizes, which are $250 cumulative donations for an amazing gaming PC sent to us by Red Wolf Networks, as well as an amazing customized replica from our friends over at Heroic Replicas. You're going to see all the information about the speed runs coming up in the marathon, like the amazing Hades run that you all donated for and that we're going to see, and that if I have any intuition left, we're going to be petting a dog during. And of course, all of the amazing prizes that you can win if you get your donations in, like all of the ones I just showed off, and plenty more. Dr. No, that's going to do it for me. Why don't we send it back up to the front and talk a little bit about exactly why we're doing these marathons. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember that your donations are going directly to the Prevent Cancer Foundation and to all of the good they do. Dr. No, why don't you enlighten us a little bit?
Absolutely, Cent. The Prevent Cancer Foundation, founded in 1985, is a US-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. You can find out more information about PCF at preventcancer.org. We have a $25 donation from Arklance that just says, Hades beckons. And with that, I have one thing to say.